everybody. My name is Joe McFall, and we are here today with the third principal candidate interview. Before we get started, I just want to say thank you to Stuco and NHS for providing these questions. Now, without further ado, let's meet the candidate. All right, guys, before we get started, we ask that everybody gives us your full attention so we can introduce today's candidate, Darwin Tomlinson. Darwin is from St. George, Kansas, and is currently the Assistant Principal and Activities Director at RCHS. Previously, Darwin served as a high school social studies teacher at Washington High School in Kansas City, Kansas. Darwin earned a bachelor's degree in secondary education and history from Drury University. He also earned a master's degree in school leadership from Baker University. Now, let's meet the panel. Starting us off, we have Aislinn Rottinghouse, a junior representing Student Council. Next, we have Lucy Nipper, a junior representing Student Council. And finally, we have Ethan Tonzer, a senior representing National Honor Society. All right, we're going to give the mic over to Spiegel.
Hey, good morning, Rock Creek. Thank you very much for coming in this morning and sharing your time with us. It's an important opportunity for our students to provide input. With that, we have our third candidate for the principal position. We ask that you give them your undivided attention, please. Make sure your phones are tucked away and hold your applause until the end, please. With that, I'll turn it over to Darren and the panel.
Thank you very much, Mr. Plinkle.
How are you going to support teachers so they can support students better?
Teaching and learning really is the backbone of any school in general. I think one of the most important things to realize is that as we're going through, we need to make sure we give teachers the proper materials, proper curriculum, proper materials to be successful in the classroom. We give them proper support in regards to the facilities, in regards to the technology they need to be successful. We need to be forward thinking about how emerging technologies such as AI is going to be impacting not just our work here inside the school, but also how we're going to prepare every single student here for their college and career readiness. These are things that we need to keep in mind in regards to it. I want to be very visible in regards to the school. I want to make sure that I'm present and I'm listening to what the teachers are providing. We have some of the absolutely outstanding teachers here at this school. I want to be able to go through, I want to be able to see the outstanding work that our teachers are doing. I want to be able to take some of the outstanding work, and I want to create a culture where we're sharing that outstanding work amongst the staff, where we have the opportunity to observe the very best of the very best, and then that way the teachers will have opportunities to add even more tricks to their tool bag in regards to what they do in the classroom.
What personal commitments are you willing to make to students at Rock Creek that go beyond your written job description as acting principal?
As principal of the school, I have a very deep and important responsibility to maintain a very important piece of the community. The students that are sent here are the parents' absolute most prized possessions. I need to remember that. I need to make sure that everyone that's involved in our institution remembers that. We are in charge with the safety and security of our students every single day. We're charged with the preparation of our young adults to make sure they're as ready for whatever career, whatever profession, whatever life they may choose to lead once they leave here. And that's a passion. And one of the things that I have found in my life is that when people are passionate about things, it's not about the hours, it's not about the time, it's about getting the job done. And it's about putting the things forward. We see examples of that passion with every staff member that we have here. Every staff member that's here has a passion for things that they put an invaluable amount of time into. I can name off staff members left and right on just talking about the amount of time, amount of energy, amount of effort that they put into making Rock Creek a really, really special place. And I want to be able to mirror that. And I hope that my past has turned around and demonstrated that as well.
Describe a time you had to make a difficult decision that was unpopular with staff or parents.
That, as an activities director, that's pretty often. Take a look at, I think that one of the most important challenges that we run in, that I can think of that students can relate to, is working with spirit buses. Every time we have an opportunity to go to a state competition, we have to balance the needs of the school and the education of our students with the important support that we need to be able to provide to our state level teams. It's not every day that teams go to state. We have been absolutely outstanding here in regards to being able to go to state level competitions for volleyball, baseball, basketball, wrestling, and being able to provide the support that our community wishes we could be able to do means we get asked a lot about spirit buses, for instance. There's not always the interest to justify the transportation for that. Those types of things don't always have the resources that we can necessarily have. Our transportation department stretched really, really thin. Taking a look at it, for instance, as we examine the potential of a state basketball trip for this upcoming games and stuff like that, we have a lot of things in regards to, we have to transport band, we have to transport cheer, we have to transport our basketball teams. Do we want to be able to turn around and find ways to get our kids there? Absolutely. But at the same time, we're also running into a lot of questions in regards to attendance. We require 90% attendance per the state in regards to being here. It's hard to justify students missing out even more class time if they're already behind on their attendance too. So is that a tough conversation? Absolutely. But at the same time, we got to balance the needs of the education. And honestly, education's why we're here. We want to support our teams. We want them to have the support of what we're doing, and that's important too. But at the same time, what we do in the classroom matters. And our support for what we do in the classroom is what's probably one of the most important things we do.
What is your strategy to build and maintain trust and communication with staff, parents, and students?
Communication. That's the main thing, is making sure I have those honest conversations with everybody that's involved. I think that there's definitely an opportunity to communicate more from the principal position here than what we've seen in the past. You know, as an activities director, I spend a very large amount of time communicating out on Sunday afternoons. I think that that role still needs to be there. But at the same time, I think that there's an important piece where the principal needs to touch base on the important topics. And that communication needs to be short, it needs to be sweet, it needs to be focused. I believe that that's an important piece in regards to communicating with parents about what's going on. Being responsive to parent communication is also another piece. That's something, as we all struggle with time and commitment, I think that that's something that we all need to make sure as an administrative staff that we do a good job with. I think that it's also important that we maintain communication with our staff and making sure we have an open door policy in regards to it. And we build in structured times to have important conversations about where we're currently at the school and the direction we need to go.
Who is a celebrity you think is a good leader?
A celebrity who is a good leader. There's a lot of good ones out there. You know, just right off the top of my head, you know, I think that Patrick Mahomes, in a lot of ways, represents a good leader in regards to what he's got. I am a Chiefs fan. I'm sorry for all the Broncos fans out there. I am a Chiefs fan. I'm not going to apologize about that. But taking a look at it, I believe that Patrick Mahomes does a good job of turning around and holding himself to a very high standard of expectation. I think that's important. I think he leads by example. He never talks bad on his teammates. And I think that's an important piece, that he's always trying to build his teammates up, at least in the public eye, and that he's always doing the right things at the right times. Are there other leaders out there that may be better choices? Yes, I'm sure there are, but that kind of comes to mind, and that's some of the things that I admire about Patrick Mahomes in particular. I'm sure I can name off a number of other ones that come to mind, especially historical ones. Martin Luther King Jr. is one that I deeply admire, along with John Marshall, first Supreme Court Justice of the United States.
What are your plans to keep/improve the positive and family setting of Rock Creek?
You know, the nice part about it with culture is that culture is built based off the values that you have. It's built off the expectations that you set. It's built off as simple as thing as language and the thing and the material objects you use to turn around and reinforce those things. So culture is a very important piece, and it's something I thought a lot about going forward here. And culture can really be built intentionally. And it's built in small increments, small conversations Those moments in time when you turn around, you have the opportunity to turn around and say, give the positive piece as we're going forward. For instance, congratulating someone in regards to the performance they did at, say, cross country. Having the opportunity to turn around and talk about the things that they've done for outstanding performances. Talking with those kids that have made a difference in their grades, coming off the ineligibility list, getting an exit project piece done, having those conversations and encouraging them about the things that they're doing there. And making sure that we're also talking about having positive language and making sure that our conversations with everybody uses a positive frame of mind. I believe in making sure that we always put a positive construction on the face of everything. Every single person here does their very best for our kids. Every kid here is doing the very best that they can in the personal circumstance. I believe that deep down in my heart. Do kids sometimes make mistakes? Absolutely, but they're mistakes. And you know, the nice thing about your age is that mistakes can be overcome.
Guys, thanks for joining us. Thanks for those that are joining us virtually. We appreciate your participation as well. Big shout out to Stuco and NHS for the questions and the moderators and the journalism team for getting this whole show broadcast. Well-oiled machine, so we're grateful for that. With that, this part is concluded. Juniors, you're up.
All right, so that wraps up today's candidate interview. Before we end, I just want to say big thank you to everybody who helped out, cameras, tech crew, and of course, Darwin Tomlinson. Of course, I'd also want to say thank you to Stuco and NHS for providing the questions. Now, a little shout out, make sure to check out the journalism socials. So we have, of course, the Rock Creek Broadcast YouTube channel, as well as an Instagram page and the RCHS Hoofprint. So make sure to check those out so you can stay up to date on the latest Rock Creek news. Of course, I just want to say a big thank you to everybody once again, and I'm Joe McFall. Have a good night. Yeah. Oh no, what am I doing?
Nice job, guys.
Thank you, man.
Ben?
So you're fade to black. Thank you, guys. Fade to black and cut out. Yep. Of course, man.